G'day all, welcome back to another Ash Applications video. In this video I'm unveiling my latest project. So in front of you you have my XR8 AU Falcon Series 2. It's a 2000 model. So what I'm up to for this one, I'll just give you a quick tour of it and then tell you what my plans are for it. So let's step into it. First a tour of the outside. Rightio, so stepping through on the outside, just the AU themselves, like the XR series, like the nose, the front of it, just does it for me. So that stemmed from when I had my original XR8, XR6 ute, which was a nice metallic silver colour. So I had that for a couple of years and traded that in. And then say 10 years later I managed to get this one. This is a Canberra car, come all the way from Canberra, and it can come like this. Everything that you see before you, I haven't done much to it except for the stuff that I had to get it to pass the roadworthy. So it's got aftermarket wheels on there, low profile tyres. You can see by the condition of the outside it just needs a bit of a wash, but it's straight, which is always a bonus. So coming around to the outside now, you can see how it's got the sports bar on it, and I'll do another separate video on how I like to clean the sports bar. So coming around the outside, so the paint condition isn't showroom. Being a 24-year-old car, it's certainly not bad for its age. The back of it has like most utes, I suppose, it has a bit of rash work on it there. So if there was a bit of the vehicle that needed some paint touch up, would definitely be the tailgate and around the area around the rear of it. Coming around to the driver's side, paint's pretty good too. It has some minor imperfections on there and some scratches, but that's fine. And then stepping around to the driver's side itself, it's still got the badges and the Tickford symbols on it, which is always good to have. Alright, so let's just quickly have a look on the inside. This is good too because it comes with factory leather seat and the factory leather steering wheel as well, which is fantastic. It does need a little bit of a clean in and around the drivers well. It does have an aftermarket stereo, and once again this is nothing that I've done to it, this is the way it came. So let's just give it a start. So the fuel gauge, it shows full and then it will drop back down to empty, so that's definitely one of the things that I'm going to get sorted out. All the other gauges work fine, speedo works fine, lights work fine, cabin interior looks great. There's a little bit of a sag in the roof lining on the driver's side, and there's some minor imperfections over on the passenger side as well. But other than that, look, it's really clean. The dashboard is just straight, there's no rips or tears or anything in that, so that's fantastic. And the aftermarket stereo's got the Bluetooth on it, so that's handy to have. So let's just have a look under the bonnet and see what we have under there. Let me just turn him off. So to get this through the roadworthy, I did have to do a few things to it. So just looking under the bonnet there, so straight away you can tell the aftermarket edition there is the Vortex supercharger. And so I do have a few things planned with this. And they are, so this at the moment, if we just look back into where we come over to the garage, so we've got a massive puddle there, and that is power steering fluid. So somewhere along the line we've encountered a a massive leak in the power steering, so hopefully that just turns out to be a hose or something simple. So that's going into the mechanics to get a look at. We'll also have a look at servicing of the supercharger. We're going to replace the coolant expansion reservoir, and after it gets back from the shop, we'll take it for a decent run, just to show you how it performs on the road. And obviously before we do that, we'll give it a nice clean and spruce it up. And it does come up real nice. It's a nice colour to come up as well. Right, so when we do go into the shop, so aside from those things there, also there's a small minor leak in the transmission towards the rear of it, so I'll get that looked at. And other than that, it's a pretty straight car. It's got 194,000 kilometres on it, which is pretty good for a vehicle of this vintage. But overall, a really nice car. So the plans for this, other than getting it sorted out in the shop, this will appear, make its first appearance in a novel, because if you don't know already, so just backing up, and we're continuing the theme from the Pathfinder that I have. If you haven't checked out that video, please do. So Project Pathfinder is when we do the Pathfinder up to the specs of the vehicle that's used in They Came. And this one, this ute that you see before you, is unveiled as will appearing in the sequel. So I will keep you updated on that. Righto, so the items that I had to pass for roadworthy were the upper ball joints. I need both of them replaced. The inspector wasn't happy with the mounting of the air filter, so I just went into Super Cheap and I got a bracket there, and I just mounted that and mounted the air filter to that. The indicator bulbs needed to be replaced. They were still working, but they were just dim. And for some reason the windscreen washer hose had been disconnected from one of the nozzles, so I just reconnected that. And I also replaced the wiper blades just because I didn't like the old ones, and it's always good to have new wiper blades. And that was about it for the roadworthy. Righto, so the plan for me here is to reverse the XR8 out onto the street and wait for the tilt tray to come, because I'm not driving it any distance with no power steering. As I was bringing it out of the garage, you can see the rear wheels trying to get traction there, and that's because of the front brakes. The front brakes had locked on. So that was, a bit disappointing. I just add that to the list of things to get fixed. Okay, so I'm finally now out on the street waiting for the tilt tray to turn up, and then I will just wave goodbye to it and hopefully see that come back soon. Righto, so while I was in the shop, I did a bit of cleaning up, cleaned up that oil spill, and then
a few moments later,
I got it back. I got the car back, but it wasn't after a few moments. It was after a few months. And then I got it back, and the very day that I brought it home, parked it in the carport, boom, coolant leak. I said, "You've got to be kidding me," or words to that effect. Took it back the next day. Back on the tilt tray. Right, so then I got the car back. I was driving, I got a few things done to it, but that's another episode. I was driving it around for a bit, and then... G'day all, welcome back to the next issue that I'm facing here with the XR8. So what I'll do is I'll just show you what I'm up against. I'll just turn it over, and then you can see for yourself what's going on in there. Yeah, as you can hear, there's still a bit of a squeak on the belts there, but that's something that's quite simple. But the main thing that I'm really concerned about is I've got that fuel link there, and it's dipping right onto the top of the engine there. So that's the next thing I've got to get fixed. So I will keep you updated. Yeah, I really wish this car would start running the way it should. Alright, so there you go. That's the issue that the next issue that I need to get sorted out is that fuel leak dripping straight onto the cover there. That's it's annoying more than anything. Then obviously, like I said, the belt, get that get all some of those squeaks out. I mean, the turbo, correction, the superchargers, I usually have that whine about them, but I just want to get the actual squeak out of it. It's a little bit annoying. But other than that, I've just got to try and wrap up all of that first video with the issues that I encountered from the start. But it's just a continuation. So let's get all that sorted. I'll keep you updated. Rightio, thanks for watching this first episode or part 1 of Project X. It's just a continuation. It's the trials and tribulations of owning a 20-year-old V8. So stay tuned for the follow-up episodes. I've got one coming up with non-mechanical fixes, and then also I'll give you an update on where we are to get all of the fixes done on this car and also some of the upgrades. So please stay tuned. And check out my eBay store. But if you own a Slouch Hat, you definitely need a Slouch Hat press and a carrier. And also check out my novel They Came. This XR8 here will appear in the sequel. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.